but I was pissed off about the line culture in Austin. I think maybe it took me like 2 hours.
It was Torchys opening.
Oh, it was the Torchys opening.
I was in another country and I heard about this fucking line. It seems ridiculous.
So Torchys is a taco place in Austin, and every time I say in Austin, there's this listener who listens from College Station, and he always corrects me and says that they also have it in College Station as well. And I'm like, go fuck yourself. I'm just explaining for a global audience. It's a taco place that's in Austin, where we live.
And a shitty city somewhere else.
And also a shitty city somewhere to the east of here. By the way, the home residents or natives that come from there are David and Nathan Zellner, who were just nominated for 2 Independent Spirit Awards for Kamiko.
Greatest things ever to come out of College Station.
Are David and Nathan Zellner.
Absolutely.
I agree. And Johnny, whatever his name is.
And the dog. That barks everyone gets to leave class.
Reveille the dog.
Anyway.
So we were on the set, on the Laser Team set, which was all here in Austin pretty much. And people who were here at the Stage 5 at the studio came out to the set and they were telling us that the Torchys Taco restaurant right next door to our studio had just opened. It had been under construction for a few months and it opened.
Had a big coming soon banner for a long time. And then they had a grand opening, which was also their opening day. Not always the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Understand.
First annual grand opening.
Yep.
And they had a 4-hour line to go get a taco at Torchys Tacos. Torchys Tacos are awesome.
One taco.
One taco.
4 hours.
You can only get one taco, or they give you a free taco.
Right. That's what you're getting, right?
I think you get a free taco. One free taco.
You wait in line 4 hours.
About $3.50.
So you're valuing your time at a quarter taco an hour.
Pretty much. That is what your time is worth. 1/4 of a
like
taco.
A bite an hour.
Yeah.
It was worth. And I couldn't believe that people would wait 4 hours for that. And it's just like.
And you pointed out they've got like 7 other locations in town.
They have 11 locations.
Michael brings Torchys in like once a week at least.
Yeah.
Everyone's already had them.
There's one a little further on Burnett.
I know.
And people were going. People in Austin love to wait in line for shit. They love it. There's so much traffic in Austin. There's a place, I've got a picture of it. There's a barbecue place in Texas, or in Austin, and probably College Station, where they will line up for 6 hours. It's called Franklin's, and it's good, but it's not like you gotta be fucking kidding me. 6 hours for barbecue in Texas?
People will post that they will wait in line for you on Craigslist. Like, this is an industry that exists in this town. The professional line waiter.
What do you do? I professionally stand around.
I wait there's a line. Like, I wait in Franklin's lines every day. You think the guys recognize them?
Here's how I would answer that question. Ask me what I do for a living.
What do you do for a living?
Here's what I do. That right there, what you just did. I do that for a living, and you just had to do it for free.
Damn.
Just sit there and
I feel
wait.
like I should have charged.
You're getting ripped off. But
how much would you charge to be a stander?
I wouldn't, dude. I would be one of the people who pays not to stand in line. I don't understand this fucking line culture in Austin. It's one of the most aggravating things about Austin is just how crowded everything is and how much traffic there is. There's a traffic jam on the main highway of Austin for about 20 blocks. There's a traffic jam on that main highway 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. I-35 between Riverside and like 38th Street.
I-35 goes through other states as well. Not just
I-35.
They have that in Minnesota.
Do you actually know how the interstate system in America is numbered?
Yeah, odd numbers are north to south.
Odd numbers are north to south.
And even numbers are left to right.
And
left to right.
They also
left, north, right, south. That's the way the compass reads.
Longitudinal and latitudinal. They actually go, and then they're numbered based on where they're east to west, or west to east and south to north. So like I-10's in the south part of the country. Yeah, so they're numbered that way.
I'm surprised you know that.
I've lived in Austin. I'm smart.
There's one of those highways in Austin.
Yeah.
And you don't drive.
It's true.
I clipped something that I wanted to show you.
What?
Gus, and I'll explain this. We'll put a link in the link. Oh, there's fucking traffic in Austin.
Yep.
Patrick just put that up. There's a train in traffic.
There's a train even waiting in traffic. That's Mopac.
Yeah, Mopac.
Someone should Photoshop a line of planes just stood still in the air, just all behind each other.
First of all, look at that motherfucking train. That's Mopac. So what we're looking at for those of you listening at home is one of our freeways in Austin. It's called Loop 1. Loop 1 doesn't fucking loop. It just goes north and south and ends. It actually ends in a fucking traffic light. Then in the middle of it, they got a goddamn train. The train is the Mopac train, the Mopac line. That's Missouri to Pacific. I don't know what you know about the geography of America. Texas is nowhere near Missouri or the Pacific. They took that train out of its fucking way to bring it down here and put it in the middle of our goddamn city.
They heard about the barbecue.
How
They
bad
had
would
to
you
come
be?
down and stop on the way. You're not going to go between Missouri and the Pacific and not get some barbecue in Austin.
They're delivering the barbecue on the train. That's why it takes so fucking long to get it. God damn. God damn, that is so aggravating to look at that. It is such a crowded city. And I actually I went out to TripAdvisor and I looked up when the Alamo Drafthouse Theater, which we've talked about 1,000 times, when they moved from having just pay at the door seating like a normal movie theater,
Right.
when you had to show up 2 hours early to go see a 2-hour movie. And
Awful.
yeah, horrible. Horrible. Then they said, finally, after 7 years of being in business?
Oh, God. I think it was longer than that. It was a long time.
They finally introduced reserve seating. And people, where you could buy tickets in advance, people fucking protested. Because they said it ruined the culture of lines at the
What is
Alamo.
the culture of standing in line for longer than the movie?
Just
Who wants to
fucking
do
stand
that?
there.
You hipster prick.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, and there's
Reserve
the
seating.
TripAdvisor thing. The guy gives him one whatever dot that is, or 1 star. It's like, thank you, Alamo, for taking one of my favorite places in Austin and wrecking it.
Very disappointing.
If this is 2012 and that's when they launched, I think the Draft House opened in 97 or 98. So it was 14 or 15 years then.
It was a long time, dude.
Didn't you remember
What's the actual complaint? Which part?
They ruined it, dude.
They ruined it by
Was it
making
an
reserve
atmospheric
seating.
complaint?
They actually had tried to launch reserve seating years ago, maybe in 05, and it was there. It was back when they were in their original downtown location. They had reserve seating for 2 weeks. It was great, and then it just disappeared.
Yeah.
I have no idea what happened to it.
Little test case, maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
That was back when they had their Colorado location. That was it. They were above a bar, basically. And now they're going to have, I think, 40 locations next year. They're opening one in New York. They're opening one in San Francisco.
It's a good experience. It's
LA.
Great way to watch a movie.
I totally agree.
It's a lot better now.
And I think they had
I
to
just like it because you don't have to talk to anyone. Just pop the thing in, and then food and booze shows up.
Well, then you like it as a restaurant because you don't have to talk to anybody in a movie theater, period. You just don't get any food or booze.
Yeah, I mean, I like eating while yeah. What?
We're saying I like it. You like the Alamo Drafthouse because you don't have to talk to anybody.
I
but
just like anything that's fun in America where you don't have to talk to someone.
here's the list of things that Gavin likes: fun, American.
Yeah.
Don't talk about it.
American are normally exclusive.
I really love eating at Freebirds, but you have to talk a lot to get a piece of food out of them.
Well, there's 40
Yeah.
different options, and you have to go through each of them.
Yeah, I just
Freebird's a burrito place.
Yeah,
in
It's
Austin.
also in College
It's also in
Station.
College Station. It's also in College Station. I'm still waiting for Gavin to get a driver's license.
I
Gavin
don't do
said-
that by the end of the year.
Gavin
What's
said
the date?
one of the dumbest things when we were shooting one night that you're going to have to explain to me, which is we were in a car and Gavin was behind the wheel. And when Gavin got behind the wheel of the car, they basically would just put the car in neutral and people would pull it on a rope like that because he was not capable of driving a car. Literally, I think 18 feet was the distance he had to drive it in this one seat.
It's like being a Roman emperor with a chariot and slaves pulling you,
And that was
except you're in a 2,000-pound chariot.
I wish
that
it
is
was only
capable of
2,000
moving
pounds, this
itself.
thing.
Then for another shot, they brought in this giant trailer and put the whole thing on top of it. And I was like, is all this for me? And Matt was like, yeah. Yeah, it is. So I was like,
Oops. But Gavin was one time, he's sitting in the front seat with his hands on the wheel and he's doing the 50s driving thing, playing like a kid, sitting on his dad's lap, putting the wheel back and forth. And he turns around, he looks at me, I'm in the back seat, and he goes, I look more attractive right now. Right? And I said, what does that mean? He goes, well, guys when they are guys who can drive are attractive. It's an attractive thing
it's
to be
the
able to
thing
drive.
with women. A guy's more attractive if he has a car, right?
You've never heard this.
I've
ever.
never heard this. What are you on? Everybody can drive. You're the one person who can't drive.
That's exactly what I said. I said the exact same thing. He's got it all wrong. He's like, not being able to drive makes you unattractive.
Right.
It doesn't
So
make
what?
you.
I was proving a point then. I was more attractive because I was like,
He was so proud of himself. He was so happy. He was on the wheel like this.
Was he trying to pull off advanced maneuvers he'd only seen in the movies? The hand draped over the wheel.
Yeah.
The
I tried a
arm across
J-turn.
over here.
He was living the dream.
He's yawning, putting his arm across the passenger seat.
Yeah,
He did the classic arm outstretched, hand only at the top of the wheel.
Did you stop short?
for like 5 minutes, I felt like I looked really good. Yeah.
He was so happy.
Fake driving a car on the bed of a trailer.
Yeah.
Did that inspire you to then go out and get a driver's license?
Well, no, because
I bet not.
I've been too busy. It sounds like a knobhead thing to say.
What are you too busy to do?
Go and drive.
You know why you're busy? Because you have to get a fucking cab everywhere you go. It's just an investment. Just get a driver's license and drive. Seriously, at this point, get a driver's license, drive, or learn to drive. Get a job as the Mopac driver. That's the train. You can drive up and down.
Yeah, you don't have to make any decisions.
I just
the
think
rail is pre-laid.
I'm definitely gonna die in a car.
Gavin fucking gave me the worst snub though.
What are you on about?
Gavin fucking. If I didn't know you, I'd be mad at you.
You can still be mad at him. I mean, knowing him is
really
not a
seen Gavin in a long
disqualification.
time. I was like, oh hey, it's Gavin. I walk up and I'm like, oh hey Gavin, what's up? He's like, oh hey. And I start to say something, and as I'm talking, Gavin sees Ray walking up the stairs and walks straight away from me over to Ray.
Wow.
And I'm like left beginning my sentence like, what the fuck? You literally walked away from me as I'm trying to start a conversation with you.
We talked about the picture you sent me that day.
I was going to follow up with another thing. It's like, oh, did you get the picture? Yeah, I got the picture. Well, and then as I said, well, you fucking bolted.
You know what it's like when you just arrive at a party. There's people everywhere, and your brain doesn't really know where you're going to go.
You were
And
upstairs. You did not just arrive.
I'd just gone upstairs.
What?
It's tough.
I still had the roof to check out. I hadn't been up there yet. The possibilities were endless.
Yeah, they were.
When you're new to the party and you run into some people, like there's you and there's Ray, and you and Ray are both in that
Honestly,
classification of really rare social encounters. It's
That's
like when
the
you're
thing.
playing a video game and you're on a mission and you pass a collectible, you're like, I gotta stop and I gotta get this thing and I gotta do it. That's exactly how it is like to interface with you and Ray.
and let me get this straight about Ray. I don't give a shit about Ray. I give a shit that Ray is outside and amongst other humans. I was like, oh, dude, it's Ray. I don't care about Ray.
Gavin probably thought he was an imposter. He was like tugging at his forehead, trying to pull the mask off.
I got really annoyed earlier today.
What?
Not at Gavin. I got a haircut earlier today.
No,
Doesn't
what?
look like
And that's
it.
what you ended up with?
And yeah, that's what I ended up with. And it got to the point of the haircut where the barber was mostly done with everything, and I guess she saw like some stray flyaways like here on my forehead. So it's like she starts like kind of clipping at them, and I don't want them to fall in my eyes, so I close my eyes. And she's doing this, and she's got the comb. She's kind of like arranging them, and cutting them off. And then I feel the comb brush up against my eyebrow, and I hear snip, snip, snip.
What?
And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I realize she's trimming my eyebrows.
With scissors?
Yeah, with scissors. And I'm like, well, now I can't say anything because she already started and did one.
You could totally say something.
No, but I was trying because like I don't want one that's like fucked up and trimmed, and then the other one that's still bushy. I'm like,
Did she think it was your hair? What?
she didn't say anything. She just, and then,
Dude.
I'm like,
You should be upset. That's
I
like,
felt violated.
yeah,
That's your eyebrows, dude.
Yeah.
that's like your most prominent feature.
It's my signature move.
That's like cutting.
I'd have been livid.
I was like, with my eyes closed, I was like, what the fuck?
Can I tell you though? Your eyebrows look nice.
Thank
They
you.
do. They look really
And
well
I was
groomed.
like, and then I was like, did she think they look so bad she didn't have to ask? Like,
She's like, I'm
was
doing
that
the world a
assumption?
favor with this. What if she cut your eye?
I know. That's what I was
Your
thinking
eye
the
is
whole
right-
time.
scissors.
My eye was right there.
God. No, I'd be livid with that.
Yeah, it's like cutting Superman's cape. That's not. You don't do that.
No,
Man.
you don't do that.
Now you've lost your secret powers.
Could you cut the cape?
What's I don't know. There's Superman's
In
clothes.
one of the movies, he has super clothes.
It survived a crash to Earth.
Was it his baby blanket?
It was his blanket. But then Ma Kent like cut it up and sewed it into a uniform. I mean, that's suspension of disbelief right there.
Well, she had maxed out her sewing. Her tailoring was
It
at
came
max
with
level.
the Kryptonian sewing
Did you
kit.
get upset about the?
Another thing that the Xbox does that isn't annoying, it's just I always forget that it's going to do it, is that sometimes I've been playing GTA 5 again on the Xbox One because I like the story. And I mean, sometimes in that game you just lose your mind a little bit, you just go mental, go on like a little killing spree. So I'll just do weird stuff. Like I was sneaking up on a cat before. I saw a cat and I was like, oh, I'm gonna snipe that cat. And I was like zooming in on it. I was like, no one will know. Then it says game clip recorded, scoped, and then all these people like commenting on this clip where I've just murdered a cat, and I was like, I can't do anything in this game, but without everyone seeing it. Do you have that?
Why did it do that?
I don't know, it just like automatically records game clips. But it's always when I'm doing the weirdest stuff, like running people over.
I guess I never pay attention. I'm sure it does. I
Yeah.
just never pay attention to what it actually is.
I had fun with my kids one night. where we went through and were watching people's game clips on their Xbox Live libraries. And, did I say libraries? I think I did. Libraries. And we were going through and we were looking at different like friends on my friends list and going through their clips. We get to fucking Gavin's and it's him kicking a cat to death and going to the beach and running over girls in bikinis. And like, there's like, seriously, Gus, there's like 20 clips of him running over,
this is serial
dodging
killer tendency.
other people and hitting girls in bikinis. What is the fucking story with that?
Isn't this what Jeffrey
It's
Dahmer used to do
100% true.
when Jeffrey Dahmer was a kid? He had Ted Gacy, right? They did the same thing.
Yeah,
They would murder
I
neighborhood
was trying to
chats,
make a video
run over
for Achievement
bikini
Hunter
girls.
where I'm just like in slow mo, just running people over. I'm trying to make a compilation, but it involves like driving around
On the
in
beach.
cinematic mode, which is really hard. So I thought the beach is great. It's just a big open space. Happened to be a lot of girls in bikinis, but I've got all these girls like bouncing.
There's a few
in
left
slow-mo.
now after you showed up in your Mini Cooper and we're running people over. It
I
was
can't believe you found that. I was just saving it so at work I could download it and cut it into
me and the kids were like, I was like, hey, let's go look at Flash's clips now instead.
Oh my God, there's something wrong with you, Gavin. So when I was, I forgot to tell the story last week. I had one of the strangest plane experiences I've ever had. You'll get a kick out of this. You'll really hate this one, Burnie. I got to the airport. We were flying from one city to another. Get to the airport 30 minutes before the plane's going to take off. They're like, all right, we're getting ready to board the plane. Everyone get on the plane. We all board. We all get on, just like normal.
Sounds normal so far.
Everyone sits down. It's time to take off. And we're just sitting there. And I'm like, well, the door's still open. I guess we're delayed. I guess something's wrong. You know, it's like 10 minutes past when we're supposed to take off. Still nothing. Finally, the first officer comes on the intercom. He goes, hey, everyone, welcome to the airline. Glad you all are flying with us today. Had something unusual happen. Our pilot needed to leave because he needed to go fly another plane.
What?
Another plane needed a pilot, so they took ours. Don't worry, though.
Dude, we got stood up.
We have a replacement pilot on the way, except he's at home right now.
Oh, that's like you're going to date a girl and she's like my ex.
He was the on-call pilot.
Yeah, and he's like, so he's at home right now. He lives about 25 minutes away from the airport. He said I need to get ready and come into the airport.
Dude, if you're on call, you're a pilot, go to the fucking airport. Hang out in the lounge.
Our plane needs a pilot. Why did our pilot have to leave and go fly another plane? So we sat there for like an hour waiting for this fucking asshole to shave and go drop off his mail and go to the grocery store and come decide to fly the plane.
I like that you're a pilot sitting in there. He's at the gate. He's about to pull back. He sees another plane next to him and goes, ooh, where's that plane going? It's like, that plane's going to Hawaii. He's like, fuck, where were you going?
I was going from Brisbane to Melbourne.
He's like, fuck that. I want to go to fucking Hawaii. I'm not going to Melbourne.
We sat there for a fucking hour.
Fuck
and
that
then
place.
There was a family.
aquarium
there was
sucks.
a family sitting next to me across. Like I had the aisle seat, and then there's the aisle, and there's like these 3 seats over here. There was this family. It was a woman, a man, and their kid. The kid, I don't know, was like 4 years old, maybe 3 or 4.
What an asshole.
What a fucking dick. They announced that we're gonna be late because our pilot is coming from home. All 3 of them take their shoes off and start rubbing their feet together.
Together?
Like sticking their feet and like not with their hands, just like mushing their feet up together.
Wait.
What, into each other's feet?
Into
Yes.
each other's feet, or
Into
they
each
mush their
other's-
own feet
into
together?
each other's feet. They created like a ball of feet. And then after rubbing all their feet together for a while, they all reached in and started rubbing all their feet together with their hands. So it's like a ball of feet and hands in the middle of the airplane.
Oh,
It was really bizarre.
That's really bizarre.
I would get him kicked off.
Yeah, you could do that in this day and age. Yeah, you can totally
Weird
do that.
sort of ritual going on.
What was it? Did they ever explain it or anything?
No.
Gross.
No idea. They just fucking did that. And then
Did it
we
smell?
took
Did it,
off.
like, release?
It didn't smell, thank God. We took off and they served us cheese and tomato sandwiches.
To go with the feet.
It was buttered bread with the crust cut off with cheese and little slices of cherry tomatoes in it.
Gross.
What's wrong with that?
Everything you just said is wrong with it. That sounds horrible.
It's a lovely little sandwich, a little cheese sandwich.
I felt like I'd gone yeah, apparently.
Ash is saying it's an Australian
I'd gone
thing.
fucking insane.
It's just a small sandwich.
Yeah,
they don't exist
coming
here.
back from your country once. I had a cheese sandwich. It was just buttered bread
Why
and
are you
cheese.
sounding slagging off cheese sandwiches?
Why do you butter the bread and put cheese in it?
What is a sandwich?
And not butter.
What is a sandwich?
You put butter on bread.
What's the definition of a sandwich, Gus?
Bread,
what makes it a sandwich?
meat, vegetable.
So it's bread. That's it. 2 pieces of bread is not a sandwich. right?
Correct.
You need something in there.
Right.
What do you got to have in there? Meat, you're saying?
Meat and vegetables.
You need a vegetable?
Sure, like lettuce or something.
Nah.
No, look, there's meat with the, the fucking cheese and tomato sandwich. And that's how big it was, by the
Yeah, it
way.
looks like
I
cheesecake.
have not taken a bite out of
Yeah,
it.
it's like finger food, isn't
That
it?
is the sandwich. And you can see the dude's feet. If you zoom in, like, next to my face, you can see a foot right
You can
there.
see the foot. I can see the foot. Gross. All right, we'll put that in the linked up so you can see it.
I'd gone insane on this flight.
We gotta stop about something. Come back to the wrestling thing. Before the podcast, Gavin was buttoning up his pants. Why do you have on? What's your underwear? What's going on with the underwear?
You know about my underwear.
Well, tell me about it. What's going on?
I lost a bet last night.
And what happened? What'd you lose the bet to? What were you doing?
We were playing Super Puzzle Fighter. Obviously, you got to make it interesting. And I lost. And now I'm wearing some underwear that may belong to Meg. It's really uncomfortable.
All day today.
Like everyone's like, yeah, I've done it before because it's really soft and silky. Bollocks! I'm crammed up. I'm slipping out all over the place.
What is more uncomfortable, that or your dancer's belt?
Dancer's belt. No, I'm going to show you though. Look.
Oh, here it comes.
A little bit of.
Oh,
Nice.
dear Lord. Let me see. Let me come over here. Wow, it's just like I always dreamed, Gavin. You in frilly
bit
underwear.
frilly.
Nice.
So you've been wearing that all day? Yeah. What's the bet? All the way till midnight? Or just to work?
So you're burning those, right? Like, that's it. Those are done for.
Gonna fit in them a lot better now.
Meg says her dick will fit in them a lot better now.
Yeah, and then she was pushing on the door. I locked myself in a room, and she wanted to get me, but she couldn't
Because you were wrestling.
We're having a little scrap, and
right.
I'm powerful because I'm got these.
You're a big dude.
So I'm holding the door closed. She pushes against the door with her feet, and there's a wall behind her, to the point where the door is like cracking, and I'm like, stop, and everything's going like, and she's like, oh, something bad happened, and then she goes, and her back went through the wall.
Whoa!
And then she said, I did it. I was in a different room.
Just,
30% of the story.
what's the Meg says only 30% of the story. What's the other 70%? Is that a police report?
Already done that once that day.
They'd already
It
done
was
that
the
once that
second
day.
wrestle.
Second time he locked himself in the room.
Second time he locked himself in the room like a little bitch.
First time
He was told the first time.
that the wall made a creaky
The
sound.
wall made a creaky sound. He couldn't lock himself in there, or she was going to do it again. and
So
something
you
bad was
guys
gonna happen.
wrestle on such a frequent basis that you run away and lock yourself in a room more than once a day.
Well, sometimes I'm done.
Do you need
Sometimes I
help?
want to call the
Gav,
truth.
Do you need a ride home?
I know.
Do
Is
you
this a
wanna go
cry for
somewhere?
help? She makes you wear her underwear, and you have to lock yourself in a room to get away from her.
Gavin's going to come in tomorrow with some bruises. I fell down the stairs. It's okay.
Yeah, so that was a $350
Whoa,
wrestle.
No. It was $150.
$150.
You got drywall repaired for $150?
Yeah.
Is it just repair? You got to paint it now?
No, well, we have to paint it, but we have the paint already.
Did they put the texture on it?
Yeah, they're gonna do the texture.
They're gonna do the texture. Come back and do the texture.
Here's the thing.
Oh, you're fucked. You're
here's
fucked.
No, here's the thing about the
Gus and I's homeowners are asking all the right questions, so they're done with the job.
Do not give him the money.
Here's what is where I suffer. I bought a house in
Yeah.
this mental place called America. I don't really know how much stuff costs
That's right.
anyway, and now everything's in dollars, so I really don't.
America's fine.
Well, America's great. That's
America's
why I
good.
live here. But now I'm just like, he's like $350, and then I'll be like, okay, is that? I don't even have. Is that a good amount? I don't know.
It's for 3 different drywall repairs.
3 different drywall repairs.
What are you guys doing in that house?
Destroying it. Y'all are demoing it, right? The renovations are done.
The other one was
They're my fault.
the other one was she tried to hang a whiteboard and somehow made like 4 different holes in the wall.
With what? She's banging on it with a hammer?
The screws were supposed to go and make these giant holes, and I kept putting them in the wrong spot.
So Meg is saying that she thought the way you hung a whiteboard was just to jam it into the wall by one corner. This apparently is what it sounds like.
Either way, she's very expensive.
It
and
didn't
I
work
like
out.
her a lot.